Welcome back, dear viewers. With us now is Dr. Zeinab Nawar, economic expert and professor of economy. Very good evening to you, Dr. Zeinab. Thank you for joining us. And because we have some, say, 7 or 8 minutes left, I want to give the mic to you. And don't give it back to me before 7 or 8 minutes. We want to listen from you. What do you think about this development, Egypt joining the BRICS, the opportunities that lay out there for Egypt and the BRICS group as well?
Yes, of course, when we talk about the BRICS and how Egypt can benefit from this, what we can say, this huge economic, what we can say, regional bloc, this is how we see it. Or now the world is working on what we can say the regionalization of the countries of the world, but it's like a regionalization with a different perspective. I mean, countries are not no longer near each other to say that it's a regional economic bloc. However, the political and the economic interests govern the actions and govern the what we can say the allies of this huge economic integration. We think that we can benefit a lot from being a part of this huge integration and being a part of BRICS. First, the countries of the world, they are trying now to move away from the hegemony of the U.S. and also the hegemony of the U.S. dollar on the international economy. So it will be a chance for Egypt, in a way or another, to do like an exchange for trade using our local currencies. This will, of course, lessen the pressure on the Egyptian pound, and of course, this will be for the sake of the Egyptian pound. I mean, lessen this type of hegemony or this type of control of the U.S. dollar on the economies of the world, or on the economy of the world, or the economy of the countries that used to do the trade using the U.S. dollar. This is number one. Number two, I believe that we can have a lot of facilities from India and from China in terms of getting the raw materials in what I can say in a better deal, because we still need to get the raw materials sometimes from these countries to industrialization of Egypt and also for different industries. Also, we can get more of the expertise and technological, what I can say, the new edges of technology that if we can learn from them, and if we can import this type of technologies from China and India, I believe this will add a lot to our economy. And of course, if we can export to these huge markets, whatever we have an edge in terms of industry, in terms of agriculture products, this will add a lot also to the Egyptian economy. We need to plan very well how to benefit from this situation, and also how to use our location and how to use that, given that we are having the Suez Canal and we are in the heart of the world. So definitely we have this important strategic location, strategic economic location that also can put us in a good edge with this BRICS, or this allies of what we can say powerful economic countries that are using this, or that are part of this BRICS and part of this regional economic bloc.
Yes. In the bloc, and that's the final question, 2 or 3 minutes, Dr. Zeinab. In the bloc, India is the biggest importer from Egypt within the BRICS, and China is the biggest exporter to Egypt. There are special relations between Egypt and each of the BRICS countries. And now we know, of course, that Saudi Arabia and the UAE are also there. So how can also Egypt benefit from each special tie or relationship with the BRICS group, with each of the countries of the BRICS group?
Yes, being an Arab and African country in this alliance, and also having the Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, this will give us like a powerful edge. And of course, this is normal that we see that the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia are part of some BRICS now, because these countries are now trying to protect their own interests against what we can say the U.S. hegemony, and also the hegemony of the U.S. dollar on the international world. So having Egypt part of this deal, or having Egypt part of the BRICS, this will serve the interest in terms of different opportunities, being an African country. And of course, we know that China now is looking for the African countries, and also China is trying to look for its own interest in Africa. And of course, Egypt would be a route for that. Also, being an Arab country and having the Saudi Arabia and also having the United Emirates and Egypt and all of this would also add a lot of edges in terms of the Arab countries. And given what we can say that the interest related to the oil and petroleum also. So if we can imagine that to what extent that joining the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, they had done so also for their own interests of oil and petroleum, and also to guarantee a sustainable, but we can say also selling the oil and petroleum using their own local currencies, and also lessen the pressure on their economies by using the US dollar. So the same also for Egypt, that we can benefit by being a route for the transport of a lot of trade between the different countries of BRICS, and also being and having the Suez Canal, which is the most important geostrategic resource that we do have also for the transportation of oil and petroleum. So this is one of our edges, being part of this, through our route for the oil and petroleum, and also through our location in Africa. So actually, Egypt has a lot of potential and has a lot of things that we can use in this game in the benefit for our economy.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zeinab Nawar, economic expert and professor of economy. Also thanks to Dr. Amr Saleh, the former World Bank Chancellor, for his participation in the program. And thank you, dear viewers, for watching us. Next week, God willing, same time, is another episode of Business Insider. Good.